a new band of rebels arose who were determined to carry the fight to Jerusalem.
The SICARRI.
To the SICARRI, anyone who wasn't fighting the Romans was a collaborator and worthy of death.
Many were slain every day, and the fear men were in was worse than the calamity itself.
All right, first and foremost, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh, and the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the word we call Jesus Christ.
What's up, brother? What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Man, you already know, man. Just doing this Friday night live. Finally got you on. Finally got you on the hot seat.
Right. What's going on? What's going on, Alazar?
Hey, shalom, brother. You know, man. Just doing what I gotta do, brother. How you?
Hey, congratulations on the mixtape too, man. I be telling brothers that a lot of brothers in Israel got a lot of nice beats, but you got delivery. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of, like I told you, irrespective of doctrine, you got delivery, man. That's raw. Continue in the faith too. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it, brother.
All
Appreciate
praise,
it.
all praise.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna be sure to get you a copy, King.
Right.
So you know, we've been kind of chatting it up on the Facebook Messenger. According to your studying, your understanding, your wisdom and knowledge, I just wanted to ask you, if you, like I told you on the phone, you know, everybody knows our doctrine, everybody knows our stance. So we want to ask you some questions about what you believe and let the audience kind of weigh it out and take the knowledge if they like it and build with it, or reject it, and that goes for both sides, vice versa. 3 things I wanted to discuss. The first one is, what day was Adam created? The second topic will be reincarnation. Some people don't like to use reincarnation. They think it's talking about coming back as an insect or another animal, but we mean it in a sense of coming back as a person after a certain amount of time to your same nation. And then the third will be hell. So we can start with Adam. We can start with Adam first. The first question I'm gonna ask you is, what day was Adam created?
Okay. If we're gonna deal with Adam, I have to say, according to the information I've accumulated, that Adam was created on day 6.
Day 6?
Yes, sir. And we can get that, like Genesis 1:26. Matter of fact, I can read that if it'll clarify it a little bit.
Wait. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase my question. Mankind was created on the 6th day along with Adam?
Right. I consider, because when you look at mankind, like for instance, Genesis 6:1, it says, and when it came to pass that when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, mankind is also talking about Adam. That word mankind is directly talking about Adam, right?
Right. But what I want to know is, was mankind created on the 6th day?
Yes, sir. I think that's the same. This is my argument. I think that's the same. I think that chapter 2 and verse 7, where it's talking about, it's getting into, I think that's just going into detail of chapter 1 and verse 26. That's my argument. Right.
I knew he was going to say that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you kind of explain why you believe mankind was created on the 6th day. Go ahead, King.
Right. Well, first of all, when you read chapter 1 and verse 26, it says, and God said, hope you don't have no problem with me saying God. It says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Let him have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing, and you know, so far. Basically, this is a creation, right? And then I'm gonna go to chapter 5 on Genesis, and I'm gonna show you why I feel like that this is the same creation and it can't be a different creation. I'm gonna go to Genesis 5 and I'm gonna read one verse. It says, this is the book of the generations of Adam, in the day that God created man. In the likeness of God made him. Verse 2, male and female created he them. So what is this talking about? Is this verse 26 of chapter 1? Or is this talking about chapter 2? Or is this all the same account?
Well, we believe that on the 6th day, we believe that mankind was made on the 5th day, and we're going to show you why. And on the 6th day, the Lord chose the Adamites, who we believe are the Adamites, the Lord's chosen people from mankind at that time. Now I'm going to show you why. Genesis 1:20 to 21. I'm going to read it, and then I just want to get a word. I don't know if you looked at it in the Hebrew or not, but this is Genesis 1:20. It says, "And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that have life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven." Verse 21. "And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw it was good." So, are you familiar with the word creature in that passage?
No, sir. I don't have that word in Hebrew. I don't. I have concordance so we can like get it.
Okay, let me see that real quick. 5315. 1 second.
5315.
8.
Strong in the
H,
Hebrew and Strong's, yeah.
5315. Okay, this is the word. It says soul, self, life, creature, person, appetite, mind, living being, desire, emotion, passion. So when you look at that word creature, it's definitely going into how mankind was created on the 5th day. And give me 1 second and I'm gonna further prove it to you.
Right,
give me
you're
there already. Give me 2nd Ezra 8:8 if you can, Bubba Kashah.
2nd Ezra 8:8. "For when the body is fashioned now in the mother's womb, and thou givest it members, thy creature is
what?
Thy creature."
This is talking about a baby. Mankind is considered a creature, and as we substantiated with Strong's H5315, the living creature that was created on the 5th day was all living and moving things on the planet, including mankind. Go ahead.
"Thy creature is preserved in fire and water," which, like it says on the 5th day, the waters brought forth abundantly the living creature, right?
That's it.
And 9 months doeth thy workmanship endure, thy creature which is created in her.
So I'll let you rebuttal that, and then we could go to the next precepts. Or
right. And I'm gonna tell you this. I ain't never really seen. That's a real unique view. I ain't never really seen nobody with that one right there, especially the 5th day view. Because I'm gonna tell you this: if he's not created on day 6, he definitely ain't created on day 7, right? Or it ain't no day 8 for the week, right? So you gotta be at day 5. So I see where your stance at with that. But like you say, for my rebuttal, I have to take you back to chapter 5 on Genesis. And we can read that again. It says, this is the book. This is the verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God, in the likeness God made him. Verse 2. Male and female, he created them and blessed them and called their name Adam. You see that? That's giving us an account before chapter 2, because in chapter 2 we didn't get a name. We didn't get a name for Eve, did we? But 5 and 2, Genesis 5 and 2, it's basically giving us an account of 1:26. You got to link 5 and 2 to 1:26. Like you just have to. You can't even run from that.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Very logical conclusion to come to in regards to that. But now we have to start taking a look at something when he say, hold on, wait a minute. We have to take a couple things into consideration with that here. Now, again, it says, these are the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man in the likeness of God, made he him, right? Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, right? In the day when they were created, right? So when we take a look at that, this happens on the 6th day, right? That's when this happens.
Right.
Does that mean that man wasn't created on the 5th day? No, it doesn't. This is when man is put in the image of God and blessed and called by a name. That doesn't mean that their creation doesn't precede that, right? And we're going to show you how and why, right? This is the book of 2nd Ezra, 6, and we're going to start at the 47th verse. Upon the 5th day, thou settest to the 7th part where the waters were gathered, which is where you get the term 7 seas from, right?
Right.
Where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures,
right?
Which we read in Genesis.
The same thing. Just real quick, brother. 2nd Ezra 6 gives the same account as Genesis, but further detail. You know.
Okay.
Right.
So it says fowls and fishes, and so it came to pass. So as we see here, it was aquatic-based animals, and not just aquatic-based animals, because fowls, as we know, fly in the air, are also created on this time, right? So it's not exclusive to aquatic living animals, right? And fishes, and so it came to pass. For the dumb water and without life brought forth living things at the commandment of the Most High, or God, that all people might praise thy wondrous works.
Right. So what happened when he created everything? The people that he created praise his wondrous works.
Right. Keep going. Then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures. The one thou callest Enoch.
Now I'm gonna ask you something, brother. Why is the Lord saying that, or why is Ezra saying that, talking about Enoch being created on the 5th day? Do you know what that represents?
You said what? Do I know what?
Do you know why Ezra is saying Enoch was created on the 5th day?
To tell you the truth, brother, I do not know. I do not know.
It represents mankind. Then it's going to mention Leviathan, and Leviathan represents all of the aquatic life. There are 2 representations of mankind and then aquatic life.
Well, no, not exactly aquatic life. It's representing the chief of all aquatic life.
Right,
right, and that's what it's going to expound on. But I want to show y'all something, show this brother something as far as what the word Enoch means, so we can qualify its correlation to mankind real quick. Let me go to the screen share briefly. So as we see here, we are looking at the Strongs, right? Present to everyone. We're looking at the Strong's. This is the Strong's for Enoch. It means dedicated, right? We're going to take it back here in the Hebrew, kanawak, right? Goes back to this word in the Strong's. Strong's H 2596, kanak, which means to train, dedicate, or inaugurate. All right, its significance or its representation or correlation to mankind is because mankind has to be trained, right? We're not like the animals that move solely on instinct. We have to be trained up in certain things. So this is the significance of it saying Enoch is being ordained, and it says, then thou didst ordain 2 living creatures, the one thou calledest Enoch and the other Leviathan, and didst separate the one from the other, the 7th part, namely where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. Unto Enoch thou gavest 1 part, which is dried up the 3rd day. Who rules the earth? Man rules the earth. Man is the top of the food chain in the earth. That he should dwell in the same part wherein are 1,000 hills.
Right, which would be the land and the earth.
Right. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the 7th part, namely the moist, and hast kept him to be devoured, of whom thou wilt and when. Right. We know the scriptures about Enoch devouring, and nobody can mess with Enoch. Leviathan. Verse 53. Which is as good as come. Upon the 6th day thou gavest commandment unto the earth.
Right.
This is when commandment is now being given unto the earth, and this is what separates Adam from other men, because commandment is being given unto the earth, and that's what Adam got, because he told Adam what? Not to eat from the tree. He's given commandment. So Adam and his choosing is separate from the creation of mankind, which is in the 5th day.
You got the floor, Ak.
You there, Ak? Ak, you there? You there, Ak? We got him, right?
He's still there.
He's still here, but I can't hear him. Maybe he's having a microphone issue. Give him a second. 2nd Ezra 6:47-53. All right, you there? You hit him up. But Most High Willing, that made sense. Okay, come.
He's not there no more?
Nah, his thing left now. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading just for the audience sake. And upon the 6th day gave his commandment unto the earth. This is what commandment is now being given. On the 5th day, commandment wasn't given, right? That before thee it shall bring forth beasts and cattle and creepy things. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. So now he's establishing, the Most High is establishing through the Elohim, he is establishing a rulership on the earth and order in the earth through Adam, in whom he gave commandments. Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou have chosen. It's pretty much in on that point, but as we see, it's separating Adam from the creation of mankind. So yeah, that's pretty much why we have that stance. It seems pretty clear, that's what's going on. But again, on the 6th day is when commandment is beginning, order is being established in the earth, and that's kind of what separates the two. Psalms 49 in the 20th chapter, or 20th verse rather. A man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. This is what the state that mankind was in on that 5th day at initial creation, like the beast, because there wasn't understanding it, right? So then on the 6th day, like it said here in 2nd Ezra, in verse 53, upon the 6th day thou gavest commandment unto the earth. That's when man stopped being like beasts. But what is it? What was it till you had the trees and the beasts of the field that Adam interacted with? Because Adam's job is to what? Teach the people and guide and lead and rule over paradise, which is what the garden is, the garden of paradise. Of course, he didn't do that, so he got banished, exiled from that land. And this just goes back to Israel's job on the earth. Our job initially always was to teach righteousness to the world. We fall from that righteousness, we get exiled, so we have to get our way back into righteousness, which also goes to show we don't have any time to be teaching other nations right now. We have to get it first, and then when we get set back up in our rulership, then we teach the nations. That's what we'll do in the kingdom. And that's what we were initially supposed to do in the time of Adam, but the ball was dropped. So the last man, Adam, who the world calls Christ, Yahushua, has to correct the of the first man, Adam. All right? So, that's why he's called the last Adam. The first one with Alpha and Omega. What is Alpha and Omega? The beginning and the end. The first Adam and the last Adam. He's not saying it how the Most High says it. He's saying he the first man and the last man. He brought sin into the world. What's the world? Israel. Did sin exist? Did wickedness exist outside of the world? Of course it did.
Well, there was a tree of evil.
There was a tree of knowledge of good and evil. So how does he bring sin into the world if evil was already in the world? The world isn't talking about everybody. It just doesn't work like that. So when sin is brought into the world, sin is brought into our people, which is why our people had to exile him out of the garden. The same way when we brought sin into Israel, we ran into Africa and brought into America on slave ships. I mean, this is the same thing over and over and over again, but Most High will be Get the brother back.
Let's take some questions.
We take questions. We'll open up with questions in the meantime, and if it be ours, will we get the brother back?
Right now, man, everybody's on the side. The brother brought out a good point. Genesis 2:15 about how Adam was put into the garden. That word "put" is as yanach, to rest, settle down, remain. So I mean, it kind of goes into him being influenced, by the Most High to rest there in that
garden. Being told this is the place of his, to me, where the tree of life is. What's the tree of life? Huh? In Adam's time, what's the tree of life? Ain't no such thing as Israel in Adam's time. So what's the tree of life? The Adamites are the tree of life.
Man.
Do you see that?
Man.
The shot clock was getting low. I was about to. Oh, big shot, Bob. Big shot, Bayan in the corner. Oh, you said it first? Well, you see, look, it was the assist. He gave it to Bob, and Bob got the bucket. Oh, his name is Bob. Well, all right then. Right? Big shot, Bob. But nah, that's powerful. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what the Adamites are, the tree of life at that time, which are the Israelites. But at this point, we're called the Adamites. Then our spirits come back. Which this all of this, is spiritual. That these are the three subject matters that the Spirit got on this brother to have with this this brother. Here we go. Because all of these things, they tie into each other. So that's why. Okay, so we left off, you said when I was showing the Enoch. So what I showed is the word Enoch in Hebrew, etymologically, it goes back to basically being trained or dedicated, right? So I'm going to start back here at 49, here in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter. Then didst thou ordain two living creatures, the one thou callest Enoch and the other Leviathan, and didst separate one from the other, for the seventh part, namely where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. Unto Enoch thou gavest one part which is dried up the third day. We know that the earth, the dry land, is where man is at the top of the food chain, or the trained one. We're trained, right? We have to be trained. Man is not given instinct like animal is. We have to be trained, right? That he should dwell in the same part where in our 1,000 hills is where we dwell, right? But unto Leviathan thou gavest the seventh part, namely the moist, and hast kept him to be devoured, of whom thou wilt and win, right? So we know the Leviathan is the most powerful creature. The book of Job speaks about it in depth, how nobody can slay Leviathan, at least the Most High God chooses him to slay him, right? So moving on to verse 53. Upon the sixth day thou gavest commandment unto the earth. And this is what it means when it says that man was put or created in the likeness and image of God. That's when commandment was given and dominion was given unto Adam. So man existed prior to that, but this is when the commandment and instruction divinely in the image of the Most High was given, was on that sixth day. And that's what separates the two. And that's where the misunderstanding and confusion could come from. And I want to get this scripture again here in the book of Psalms to hammer in that point. This is the book of Psalms 49 and 20. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. And that's basically essentially what mankind was prior to that order and commandment being given from the Most High, and having Adam to come and rule was like beasts of the field. You see what I'm saying? So that was essentially our point from where you had missed us at. So you have the floor, brother.
Man, I'll say this. As far like I told you before I got off last time, as far as the fifth day, that'll be all you can go to. You know what I'm saying? At least y'all have a day set. At least y'all got your information ready. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, well, it's not, well, it ain't day 6, but I don't know when it is. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, just like they say it's not Jesus when we go into the prophecies of the Messiah in the Old Testament, but they can't tell you who it is.
Yeah, they can't really pinpoint that. So yeah, that's basically where I stand with that. I stand on day 6. At least y'all ain't got some crazy day 8 You know what I'm saying? At least y'all gonna try to go it. Y'all gonna go to some scripture and try to validate the doctrine. You know what I'm saying? So really, we can't really argue too much with that.